This right here is the rarest death in all of hardcore Minecraft. Look, even the game didn't even know what to put as the death. And I found all of the other weirdest and most unlucky deaths that ever happened. Like, what do you do if you get this extremely rare curse, like the player Taste Bacon? He's just playing one day and everything is normal until he randomly starts taking half a heart of HP every single second for no reason. Now he runs inside and closes the door. There's sometimes invisible mobs, so if that's the case, he just escaped it. He runs out in panic again. All he can think to do is pull out his golden apple and eat it. He then pulls out his sword, swinging around, trying to take out anything near him. But it doesn't work. He panics some more and kills this chicken and some llamas. But it doesn't even matter because his food bar is completely full. He eats his last golden apple and just kind of freezes. Just imagine this. You can do absolutely nothing as you watch your hardcore world slip away. But he thinks of one last idea. He completely traps himself in some blocks and even digs downwards to escape. But unlike some of the others on this list, nothing he could do could stop this. But now imagine you're collecting every single block in the game. This is what the player eHider20 was trying to pull off. But through a very weird mechanic in the game, he would somehow set off a TNT block. Rarest Tiger was a very experienced Minecraft player who was working on his Enderman farm when one snuck up behind him at the worst possible time, sending him in the worst possible direction. These last two were completely avoidable, but I saved some of the most unlucky ones for the end, and the last one is seriously the most insane thing ever. Now everyone knows the Warden is the strongest mob in Minecraft, and unfortunately for Cybladium, he was about to run into a one-of-a-kind glitch with the Warden. To make matters even worse, this world is over 2 years old. But imagine losing your hardcore world of over 2,800 days old, like the streamer Sartin Max. He was using his Elytra and Trident and was actually trying to break the speed world record. But unfortunately, if he was able to go back in time and read some of the responses about this, people are warning about flying too fast and this low. And as you can see by his Y coordinate, he's slowly descending in altitude, making this even riskier. Because what looks like nothing can instantly transform into a bunch of blocks randomly generating out of nowhere. And that is exactly what happened to him.
Oh, fantastico.
Now, people were also trying to figure out why the totem didn't save him. And if you have the answer, let us know. But someone actually died even more instantly than this. Fred was just playing like any other day, going through his stacked inventory with a totem, enchanted gear, and then seemingly out of nowhere. Now, I don't think anyone knows what happened here, but we do know what happened to Waffle4290 as he was working on his 1,000 plus day hardcore world. Everything was normal. He was working on an ocean project when he used his trident to fly out, but accidentally removed his Elytra. But now I want you to imagine you're working on an iron golem farm. These guys are harmless, they protect villages, they're amazing. Everything's fine, but you notice the iron golem is stuck and not falling down the trap. So Sulafit goes over to nudge the iron golem in, and he's completely full HP with gear on. So everything should be a-okay. Nah. There's speculation on how he died, but no one really knows. And surprisingly, this isn't even the craziest Iron Golem death on this list. A player by the name Punky Peanut was using his villager trading area when he somehow right-clicked an Iron Golem, causing it to lash out and insta-kill him. You don't even see the Iron Golem anywhere. And a player by the name Bowser got so unlucky while messing with his Enderman farm, he was just placing some grass blocks above it, hoping to get a better view, which he did. But as many of you know, Endermen are actually able to grab blocks. And you can see one of them grab this grass block. But unfortunately, he doesn't realize this, and when more Endermen grab these grass blocks, he instantly falls all the way down. And speaking of falling, the player Setlock got some of the worst timing I've ever seen. He was completely alone in this cave, teetering on the ledge, when he turns around for literally 1 second.
If that's fair.
Oh!
And again, speaking of falling, something very, very rare happens to Pippin Zero. He hit the nether portal and walked into the nether. Now he goes to farm a little bit when out of nowhere, so lava actually spawns as just a source block. So when he entered the nether, it was impossible to see. And unluckily for him, it started to slowly fall down, perfectly hitting him as he's in this little hole. And he'd hoped to hit this nether portal to save himself. But imagine you're just messing with a villager and trying to nudge him out of the way when you straight up teleport outside of your building blocks and into lava. All bro could do was rage quit and never play this world again. And the player Superboy 18 was fighting this skeleton with full gear. And you would think maybe this skeleton one-shot him or something, but he was full HP, and it even said he fell out of the world. Now, if you're walking in this snow biome, you are obviously surrounded by a bunch of snow. The last thing you would expect would be to burn to death, but that is exactly what happened to Mayasoft when he slightly misplaced this lava by pixels. But thankfully, his friend was right next to him with a bucket of water.
Bruh.
But at least this is not as bad as what happened to Kistumi. He was in the nether farming some blaze rods when a ghast shoots a fire charge at him. So he had all the time in the world to react or move out of the way, just do anything, but he completely fumbles it. Not only that, he falls down into a pit of lava. And a player named Slice of Fry was just mining some coal on the literal surface. You would think you are completely safe here, but suddenly he falls to his doom. But that brings us to our most rare hardcore deaths of all time. 6 of these are actually a part of the longest hardcore worlds that ever ended, but I'll quickly summarize. The YouTuber Sandiction had an almost 1,000 day hardcore world when he glitched while flying, causing him to die seconds before he even impacted the wall.
Oh my god.
And the streamer Philza was on his generational hardcore run, reaching nearly 6,500 days when he ended up going down fighting against a baby zombie, a skeleton, and a spider. You don't really die to these too often, especially one of the hardest maps of all time.
No! Really? That's how I die? Oh my god!
And a YouTuber by the name Inky had a 5,000 day hardcore world, and while he was flying over the ocean, he started experiencing real-life diabetes symptoms and accidentally ended his run by drowning in the ocean.
And by the time I got back to my computer, it was already too late.
Paul GG was over 2,500 days and working on a massive new project. All he had to do was remove this sign and all of this sand would drop and completely drain this ocean monument. But sadly for him, it drained his PC's will to live.
Oh, no, no, no. It's like, bro, dude, it's crashing. Oh, no. Uh-oh.
And we have the YouTuber Cringy Goal, who was over 4,000 days in his hardcore world. When his world literally just got so laggy and corrupted, he just simply phased through the blocks and into the void. So there was nothing he could do about it. And Jahita was in their 1-year hardcore world when they randomly got smothered by their own cows. I don't know if you could die in a more tilting way.